اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله لنريه من آياتنا إنه هو السميع البصير صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Surah Bani Israeel or Surah Isra that we started last night, the first ayah of the surah. In this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that pure is the one, pure is he who made his servant, his slave, travel by night from Masjid al-Haram to the Masjid al-Aqsa, alladhi barakna hawlah, the surroundings of which, the environs of which Allah has put blessing in. And we explained it last night that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put blessing because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it a place where many anbiya, many messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala were. And that place, that piece of land is such that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it very fertile, very rich. لِنُرِيَهُ مِنْ آيَاتِنَا, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that we did this, all of this, to show the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam our signs, so that he may see. We let him see some of our signs. So what are those signs that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? First and foremost, this traveling itself, this journey itself is a sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that with the authority of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone can somebody travel so fast that they travel this many hundreds of miles, thousands of miles, and then nobody knows how far into the skies, and then come back before the day breaks. Similarly, his going into Masjid al-Aqsa and meeting all the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and addressing them and listening to their addresses. Also going into the skies and seeing the Anbiya there. Then seeing the Baytul Ma'mur, which is a house of worship for angels. 70,000 angels come to it every single day, and angels are so much that they are never able to, when one angel comes and visits it, it is directly in the, as we learn from the hadith, directly in the direction of the Kaaba on the 7th sky. And Hazrat Ibrahim ala nabiyina salatu wasalam, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, saw him on the 7th sky resting his back against the Baytul Ma'mur. That's a place of worship of you could say the Kaaba of angels, and they go around it and they also visit it. And when one of them comes, they are never able to come back again. So from this we can imagine how many angels of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are so numerous. 70,000 come every time. 70,000 come in the morning, 70,000 come in the evening. When one visits, then eternity they cannot come back. They do not get a chance again, because there's other angels coming. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also showed the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam Sidratul Muntaha, which is a tree of a berry tree, which had been surrounded by angels and other heavenly creations that wanted to see the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So as we learned from the hadith, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had allowed those creations of the skies that they dearly wished to see the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed them to gather around the Sidratul Muntaha. إِذْ يَغْشَى السِّدْرَةَ مَا يَغْشَى, when the Sidratul Muntaha, it was surrounded by whatever it surrounded it. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and through the hadith we learned that it was the heavenly creations that had surrounded it and covered it, because they so much wanted to see the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Beyond that, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam reached a station which is called the Maqam of Sarful Aqlam, where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam could hear the scratching of pens, and that was the place where the commands from the upper, from beyond the 7th sky, those commands were being given and copied to be given to the angels of the lower world, the skies and the earth. So that was that station where the Prophet ﷺ has mentioned that I heard the scratching of pens. And in that journey, also in that night, the Prophet ﷺ for the first time saw Jibreel alayhi salam in his full form, in his full shape, where he saw the Jibreel alayhi salam with 600 wings, and each of those wings was enough to cover the whole world from east to west. Then the Prophet ﷺ also traversed and came a place of perfect darkness and perfect silence, where the Prophet ﷺ has mentioned in his hadith that I felt really overwhelmed by the darkness and the solitude. And then to console me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made me hear the voice of my dear friend, Hadawar Siddiq radiallahu anh. He was not there, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave an angel the voice that sounded like Hadawar Siddiq radiallahu anh to console me, to make me feel comfortable. And then finally the Prophet ﷺ met Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as we mentioned last time. So all of these are the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed the Prophet ﷺ. But our belief about Anbiya is that their iman, their belief is at a perfect level. So even the Prophet ﷺ's iman, even before this journey, was at such a level that it did not increase. It could not increase even after having seen all of these signs. His iman, his faith, his conviction in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was so strong that seeing all of this did not increase it further, because the Nabi, the messenger of a time, has perfect faith. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all of these, the Prophet ﷺ also was shown the heaven and the hellfire. The Prophet ﷺ saw the scenes of hellfire. The Prophet ﷺ actually entered and saw the heaven. And in a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet ﷺ has mentioned that there was a palace made of one pearl, and I thought that it's such a beautiful castle, it looks so beautiful that it must belong to me, because Allah would give it to me. But I was told that this is the castle of one of your Sahaba, Umar Khattab radiallahu anh. Anyway, so the Prophet ﷺ has mentioned in different hadiths those things that he saw in the Jannah and things about the hellfire as well. All of this was to honor the Prophet ﷺ, not to increase him further in his faith. All of that was to show him that how honorable the Prophet ﷺ is in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Innahu huwa as-sami'ul basir, as we explained last time, that all of this is because Allah is all listening and all seeing. So Allah is all listening and all seeing to what the people are doing to the Prophet ﷺ, what the people were doing to the Prophet ﷺ, pushing him out of his homeland, putting him in such a situation where his family, two very important family members, passed away. Had Abu Talib, who was a great supporter of the Prophet ﷺ on this earth, he passed away. His beloved wife Sayyidah Khadija radiallahu anha, she passed away. The people of Taif pelted the Prophet ﷺ with the stones. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was showing him that do not lose heart. These people pelt you with the stones, but you are so honorable, you have such an honor in our eyes. Inshallah, continuing on with this theme of Linuriyahu Barakna Hawlahu, the Masjid al-Aqsa, its surroundings, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made them sacred, and the real key center point of its sanctity is the Masjid al-Aqsa. The next few ayat talk about Bani Israeel and Masjid al-Aqsa. Inshallah, if life and tawfiq permit, we'll talk about those tomorrow. inshallah in the night. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. اللهم اجعلنا من أهل القرآن الذي خلق خاصته. صلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.